Welcome back, everybody. Derrick Soo, your East Oakland advocate. Well, I just got a reminder from one of my favorite charities, and it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And it's important because we see a lot of it. And as an example, I was once a victim of domestic violence. In fact, it was one of my relationships right after uh, my divorce, and I was dating a woman, and we rented a home together here in East Oakland, and things didn't go well, and she ended up stealing one of my guns and trying to shoot me with it, and I mean, it was a long, lengthy court battle and everything, and finally the judge got tired of both of us, and mostly her, um, and I was fully within my rights, and the judge admonished her severely for stealing the guns and not returning them when I demanded its return, and so it was pretty messy. But because she shot at me, I qualified under domestic violence laws, and so that gave me put me in contact with a domestic violence organization, and that is Building Futures with Women and Children, and they also help men in certain instances with domestic violence, because it's not always men that perpetrate the violence. There's also a lot of women that perpetrate this, and this is one of the reasons why I don't date anymore. After that instance, if this this is probably the second female that had plans on doing me in. My first marriage, that one was a really ugly situation there, and the only way out of that for her, because she had already matched me out and everything, and she thought she had me, um, so anyway, yeah, she had taken out a life insurance policy of nearly $500,000 on me, and when she did that, she did not take one out on her, which was surprising, or I should say, she took one that was greatly reduced. Uh, we had She had one $500,000 on me, but yet only 100,000 on her, and so that threw up some red flags. And anytime if your spouse does something like that, where there's two different values on life insurance policies, and suddenly it's brought up, and you're not married yet, uh, or in this case, my first wife, we were married, but because we were having so many difficulties and everything that was going on, uh, the only way out for her would have been to cash me out, on the life insurance policy, if you know what I mean. But my mother, she was a victim of domestic violence in her first marriage, and so um, that's why my half brother uh, was trained in judo to protect my mother against his father. Uh, and when we took a trip to Colorado, my mother's ex-husband Harvey was along for the ride because it was my half brother's graduation in Colorado, and so he was there. But also, um, I told my brother, I said, "You better keep your dad on a very short leash, because he makes the wrong step. He may be coming back in a box." And my brother already knew about some of my very deep deep connections. And so um, he told his dad, you best not mess with mom, because my other half brother, he's like a gang member, and he doesn't care about anything. And so that was the warning that was given to Harvey, and Harvey minded his P's and Q's back then. But also, one of the things that I also want to say was that it was pretty prevalent in the homeless encampments as a encampment manager for one of Oakland's 40 sanctioned encampments. I was the only one that was self-governed, and so that means that I ran independent of third-party intervention agencies, meaning that Operation Dignity didn't show up. Places like that didn't show up to my place unless they were requested. And so that was a problem. I had early on 4 couples that were DVs, and they were a constant problem, and they were at the very far end of my encampment. And so because they were so far away, I could not react usually in any kind of timely fashion by the time somebody came down and told me what was going on, because now I got to walk a whole block just to get to where the incident is going. And at that time, now possibly an ambulance is showing up and the perpetrator is long gone. And trying to deal with them was always difficult. And there was one that I did encounter, and I did straighten him out pretty good. And then he was later arrested, but he also needed some stitches to his head because I opened him up left side, right side, and back side. Then also swelled both of his eyes shut with some thrust punches and inch punches to his head and to his face, very quick ones. And so dealing with domestic violence is always very dangerous, and not something that I would encourage anybody to step into that isn't properly trained in martial arts. Also hostage and negotiations, because things change on a dime, and it can turn south on you. And in fact, I've even had instances where both parties, the victim and the perpetrator, turned on me. The victim turned on me, and so you got to be careful. But it's always one of the most dangerous situations for our fellas and our men and women in blue. Whenever they get one of those calls, it's always a real red flag situation, is what I always say. But I know I've dealt with it for a number of years, and then dealing with couples that don't want to have intervention by me or by anybody else is also difficult also. So anyway, this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. If you have a situation of domestic violence, call 211. Get help. Get out of the situation. There are agencies throughout Oakland. Like I said, one of them that I work closely with, because they also work with me with my domestic violence issue, went back in 2012. And so they're a great agency, and they actually get people off the street into housing and continuum of care. So I support them, and I hope you support them also. And they were the ones that sent me the reminder. This is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And then I'm going to, if you go over to the Facebook page, you'll see what they have going for this month on my Facebook page. So thanks for joining me today. Stay safe, and let's hope we can stop domestic violence.